So there's a video circulating on X at the moment pretty heavily, and it's trending and everyone's talking about it. Now this incident happened in Manchester Airport, I believe it was today, and it involves Muslims and armed response police. And the video is pretty brutal, but what I'm finding is nobody's looking at the wider picture. There is a lot going on in that room in Manchester Airport other than the policeman kicking a lad in the head. And so people are coming out with police brutality, when the context is far more important here, I believe. Now, I don't condone police brutality at all. I'm not a fan of the policing system we have today. There's that two-tier policing system currently being employed around the country, where they double down against British football hooligans or football fans or any right-wing protest. However, they run away from left-wing agitators, rioters, and the religion of getting away with everything. Now, of course, if the armed police here just walked into this room in Manchester Airport and started brutalising this family, then I'd have something to say about it. And, of course, I'd call them out for it as well. But, however, things in this video aren't what the leftists and all the rest of them will have you believe. Now, there are about 4 or 5 armed police in this video, and for them to turn up, I think it's quite clear that something major has occurred. And whoever filmed this, I'm not going to show it, it's all on X, you can go on there to see it, because I don't think YouTube would be happy with me showing you this video. It's that brutal. But then again, YouTube swings and roundabouts. Now, the person filming this started when the action just starts to heat up. And what you do see, and what's not pointing out, is a female police officer, clearly in distress. Her phone earpiece is dangling down. She is in panic mode, and there's blood streaming down her face. Now, according to a statement by her police force, she had her nose broken by one of these lads. And then all hell breaks loose. You've got members of, I'm assuming they're a family, sat around with their arms behind their heads. A female is seen trying to comfort one of them, a lad, on the floor. But this lad, however, ends up getting his head stomped and kicked on by a male copper. And that's what people are concentrating. But why is he doing this? Well, it turns out, according to witnesses, they tried to go for the copper's gun. Now, so far, we have a female armed response copper having her nose broken. She stood there panicking, looking everywhere. Her earpiece for her phone, her contact device, is dangling. She's probably suffering from concussion. I mean, you would do, wouldn't you, after having your nose broken? And then we have one of them trying to grab another copper's rifle. And so he's on the floor. But if you look at him, his hands, or his right hand, is down by his side, and his left hand is underneath him. And you can hear them shouting, "Shows your hands, shows your hands." And he doesn't remove his hand from underneath his body. Now, like I said earlier, we don't know what happened for sure before this all kicked off. But an armed police response unit wouldn't instigate this for no reason. And he wouldn't be kicking that lad in the head and pointing his rifle at his head for no reason. Who knows what he's got under his body with his left hand under there. It turns out it was nothing, but do you take that chance? Of course not. Do you let them take your rifle? Of course not, for all we know. This could have been a planned scenario to surprise and take the police's weapons from them and then run around the airport shooting people. I mean, this is what happens, and I know I'm going to get called Islamophobic for saying this, but they are in an airport, and an airport has a lot of innocent civilians, and it wouldn't be the first time, would it? So all that lad had to do was show his hands from underneath his body, do what the copper told him to do, and the copper wouldn't have had to take the extreme measures and seem like he's doing it for no reason whatsoever. Now, we bash the police a lot, don't we? We're always, I do on here, but we're always, pointing out when they're doing things wrong quite often. But we should also have the bollocks to point out and back them when they get it right. And in this instance, I think they did. They got it spot on. If it means keeping a couple of thousand people safe in an airport and something like this happens, then yeah, the copper did the right thing here. And again, I just want to point out, I don't agree with police brutality, but if it stops the usual suspects from taking their weapons and doing God knows what with them, then I think we need to give them a little slack, don't we? And there we go. I'm Paz49, thanks for watching, and until the next time, Roger Trout.